so people can see this later. Okay. Hi, everybody that is here and also on the recording. Okay, so I'm about to hand it over to Lanette, who is going to do an incredible job, and I'm so excited to have you guys hear from her because I get to hear from her, and I've gotten to see her in person lots of times, and she's just so charismatic and so inspiring, and I know you guys are going to love her too. But first, so I mentioned in the team page that team calls are going to change a little bit in 2017, and I wanted to tell you guys about it now and to anybody who's listening on the recording, so you guys have a heads up for scheduling. So we have between 1,500 and 2,000 people on my team, 4,000 something if you include the ones that are part of my downline from my upline. And then there's, I think, 800 and something, 900 now coaches in our team page, which is insane, right? Like that is a lot of people. And our team has an incredible amount of leaders. So people like Lanette who have their own teams inside of our team. It's like a big family tree, who also do team calls. And you guys have the National Wake Up Call on Mondays. And then you have diamond calls with me if you're a diamond. And you probably have calls if you're ranked higher, you probably have your own corporate calls and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things happening, right? And I want, in an effort to, one of my big takeaways from leadership was simplify and duplicate. That was kind of me and my success partner, Morgan Rieger, talked about it a ton. The two of us kind of, that was like our big takeaway that both of us had. And so I want to simplify as much as I can. You saw me start that by updating our team's new coach training to making it in line with Beachbody's Coach Basics and First 30 that they rolled out. So it's super simple. It literally walks you through every step. Beachbody even made videos to show you exactly how to do every step. So you are super empowered as new coaches to learn. And I mean, literally all you have to do is go to that page where it says start here and start there, and everything will walk you through to the next step, which is incredible. It's such a great resource. So doing that to make everything easy and really duplicatable for you guys, because it's not my new coach training anymore. It's just the new coach training, right, from Beachbody. So you can pass that on. What I have on our team training site, I just want to reiterate this, is 100% identical to what is in Coach Basics in the Coach Online office. All I did was copy and paste it from the Coach Basics template into that blog template, and I just broke it up by assignment instead of just being in one big list. Now it's broken up, which for me personally, because I'm visual, that makes it easier for me to navigate. I don't know if anybody else is visual. Hopefully it helps you. The only other thing I did was every now and then I would post a graphic that was made by me or one of my success partners that helps visually show the point, and that is not necessarily in Beachbody's Coach Basics since that was made by some of us, but hopefully that just enhances it. But other than that, it's exactly the same. So I want you guys to feel empowered to give that same exact new coach training to your new coaches when they come on, to help them have all of the tools and resources. But it's a very simple thing that can be duplicated along the line. You don't have to change it. You don't have to make it yours because it's not mine. It's just Beachbody's. So hopefully that helps everybody feel empowered when you're bringing new coaches in to be able to confidently say, I will help you start strong. I will walk you through step by step, because that's what it does. Okay, back to the team call point. So like I said, we have a lot of people, and yet our team call attendance has been going down all year. So in the beginning of the year, we had like 50 to 55 people. And then through the summer, we had like 40s. And now we're down to the 20s, which is, it's fine. I know that everybody has, their own teams that have been breaking off and doing their own team calls. But these team calls are kind of a labor of love for the speakers that do them, for myself and whoever I ask and invite. It takes a lot of time for me to go and find other coaches who are available and coordinate the schedules. And so if we're not going to have a lot of people that are able to get on Thursday nights or willing to get on Thursday nights, I just don't feel like it's something that we need to be wasting people's time with, myself and yours. So what we're going to do in 2017 is actually we're going to go to a monthly Aero Tribe call. It's going to be on the second Thursday of the month. It's going to be at the same time, second Thursday of the month. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a diamonds and above call on the first Thursday of the month. So if you are a paid diamond on that first Thursday, you'll be invited to that call, and we're going to have more leadership level content. So speakers that are talking about stuff that's more pertaining to people who are building a team and working with coaches as well as challengers. And then on our monthly team call, it'll be similar to now, where it's kind of just general learning and growing together. So hopefully that is something that kind of just takes a weight off of a lot of you guys. You don't have to try and be scheduling as much stuff. Hopefully you can carve out the time once a month for our big team call. Hopefully it'll make you guys a little more excited to come, because it's not going to be something that you're having to do every week, but it'll be kind of more of a big event. And hopefully your coaches will be excited. And then if you are a leader leading your own team, hopefully that's something that now won't take too much of your time away, and hopefully you can come and participate too, because I would love to see your faces as well. So that is a new change. I'm actually going to start it in December, since the whole second half of December is basically holidays anyway. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do our diamond call the first Thursday of December. And then we're going to do our team call the second Thursday of December. And then we'll pick it up again in the beginning of January. So I'm really excited about, so the team call will be at 9. And then we're going to do our diamond ones at 8:30, just a little bit earlier, to get people on the East Coast kind of in bed at a reasonable time. All right, so hopefully that helps everyone. I didn't change the team call time, and this is something in January, if we want to, we can kind of vote as a group. I didn't want to change it because I know a lot of leaders have chosen their team call times around it, and I didn't want to change our team call time and have it like overlap or block another leader's team call time, because I never want anybody's coaches to feel divided between the two. So I didn't want to mess with that. And 9 seems to work, since we do have coaches spread all across the time zones. So for our Californian coaches, this is only 6 p.m. and it's hard for them to do anything earlier for those that are working. So it's kind of one of those things where we have to find the balance. Okay, so that was that announcement. Hope that's something that everybody gets excited about. Hope it takes a little pressure off your shoulders. You can spend some more time with your family, spend some more time working on your business, whatever it is that you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Lanette. Lanette is going to be speaking about, it kind of goes with what I was just talking about, so we're all on the same page, simplifying. And I'm so excited to have you guys hear from her. So Lanette is a 2-star diamond coach. She has 5 children under, what's your oldest one's age? What's your range? Under 10, 5 under 10. So she is a busy lady, and she makes it work nonetheless, but now you can understand. And I never want people to be like, oh, she's just defining me as a mom, because I hate when people are like, this is Cadence's mom. And I'm like, I'm a person. But I want you to understand her need for being able to find ways to simplify her business, because she does have a lot of pulls on her time, and she works this business for her family. So she doesn't want the business to rob her of that time with her family. So it's so important. She has hit Success Club every single month since she signed up as a coach. So that's 19 months. So she is a Success Club All-Star, working her way to Success Club All-Star Legend, which is when you've hit it for 24 consecutive months or more, which is insane. That is a pretty exclusive crew of people who've done that, because, I mean, we all know there are just those months that get us. So to be able to push through that, even on those hard months, is incredible. But it's why she is the leader that she is. And it's why she has found the success that she's found, and it's why she's going to continue to see it. So I'm going to hand it over. Her topic was simplifying, like I said, but then her little tagline, which I thought was so cute, was everything I need to know about coaching I learned from my kids' storybook. So I'm so excited to hear what she has to say about that. And I'm going to hand it over to Lanette.
All right, guys. Okay, so I was going to introduce myself, but Becca did a really amazing job and made me feel so special. Thank you, Becca. So a little me, just because some of you know me, some of you follow me, some of you don't. I've been married 12 years. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home mom when I started coaching. And, I don't have like a lot of education. I got married when I was 19, and then I just had babies for the next 10 years. And, you know, I was a CNA for 2 years, and I quit when I was pregnant with my eldest because I had like a lot of trouble. And so out of the workforce for a long time. All that said to say, you don't need to know like a bunch of stuff to be a coach. So I've been coaching for 19 months, and I was definitely a customer first. My sister got me into Beachbody. She had this amazing transformation after she had her first baby, and it piqued my interest because I was pregnant with my fifth, and I was like, when I get done with this, I am doing that. And I was really skeptical, but ended up doing it, and I was so pleased. And I decided that I wanted to become a discount coach because I obviously wanted to stay on the products, but I didn't think I could afford to. Ring any bells? So anyway, I did that, and then like 5 minutes later, I was like, no, I want to do this as a hobby. And then I was like, no, I want to be a top 10 coach, which maybe we'll talk about that later. But I was in such a bad place financially with our family. This was like a do or die situation for me. I had to make this work because I was do that or go get a job as Dollar General. I don't have a big education, so there wasn't a lot of options for me. I actually sold some of my son's cloth diapers to pay for my first challenge pack. And, you know, like that sounds really weird, but I don't know, cloth diapering's more mainstream now, so maybe some of you will get that. But we cloth diapered because we had to. We didn't have enough money for a disposable diaper. So like this was a big deal. And when people tell me they can't afford to, it's so nice to have come from a spot where I couldn't afford to, because I can get that and I can be like, I understand. I was there. Maybe you should coach, you know, because maybe then you can afford to. So anyway, when I said everything that I need to know about coaching, I learned from my child's storybook, I wasn't lying, guys. I'm not here to give you a bunch of tips and tricks and amazing apps and a great tracking system. My success partner will laugh because I don't have those things. I actually I'm a pen and paper girl. I use a notepad and I keep track of my conversations in there. And that's actually pretty new for me. So like, I don't have all of this amazing stuff to share that way, but you guys don't laugh at me. I am a mom. Okay. And so when she said she doesn't, you know, not being defined as I am a mom. Like after you have a certain amount of kids, that's just what you are. And so I am actually going to read you a storybook because this book is so good. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, what did we get ourselves into? But you just have to hear this book and then we'll talk about it. Okay. It's like book club. So don't laugh at me. Don't check out because this actually applies to coaching, whether you believe me or not. So the book's name is Pout Pout Fish Goes to School. If you're a mom, you need all the Pout Pout Fish books because they're amazing. I don't like to read books to my kids that I don't like. So anyway, that's aside. A long time ago, when Mr. Fish was very small, he headed off to school for the first time of all. With a smooch from his parents and excited for his day, Mr. Fish rushed in. Then he lost his way. The big fish around him knew exactly where to go, finding lockers, finding classes in a smart, fast flow. Mr. Fish, left behind with his grin sinking thin, finally stopped at a doorway and he shyly looked in. The class was doing writing and most everybody knew it. So he tried to print his name, but he just couldn't do it. So he flub frowned, making blub bubbles when he plopped down his pencil and he counted off his trouble. Trouble 1, I'm not smart. Trouble 2, I'll never get it. Trouble 3, I don't belong. So 4, I should just forget it. He floated with a frown down the long corridor. Then he sneak peeked a look through another room door. The class was drawing shapes, and most everybody knew it. So he tried a rhombus, but he just couldn't do it. So he flub frowned, making blub bubbles. Then he plopped down his pencil, and he counted off his troubles. Trouble 1, I'm not smart. Trouble 2, I'll never get it. Trouble 3, I don't belong. So 4, I should forget it. He drifted down the hallway with his doubt face till he spied another doorway. Maybe this was his place. The class was doing math, and almost everybody knew it, so he tried long division, but he just couldn't do it. Forget it. He rushed toward the exit. That's enough, I say. School is way too tough, and I'm not going to stay. Then a soft, kind voice said, don't you fret. You don't have to know things. You haven't learned yet. Your classroom awaits. I'm your teacher, Miss Hewitt. I'm here to help you learn, and I know you can do it. You're a fish who is smart. With practice, you will get it. Young fish, you belong. Don't you ever forget it. The student and the teacher swam splish, splash, swish to a door with a sign marked brand new fish. Miss Hewitt said, good morning. I'm excited you're all here. Together we will have a spectacular year. Fact 1, you are smart. Fact 2, you can get it. Fact 3, you belong. So 4, don't forget it. The class got to work and Miss Hewitt helped them through it. They listened, then they tried, and everyone could do it. Mr. Fish gave a grin. Goodbye, blub bubbles. No more doubt, worry. No more flub troubles. He swam with his class, Miss Hewitt by his side, as his students and their teacher said with confidence and pride. Fact 1, we are smart. Fact 2, we can get it. Fact 3, we belong. And fact 4, we won't forget it. And I know that's a really silly illustration, and it seems really childish, but you guys, like, I get a lot of personal development from my kids' books. And I just saw myself and so many coaches in that book, because we start out and, you know, I mean, do you see yourself in that book? I mean, I see myself in that book. We start out excited. We start out running forward, and then we stop and we look around and we look at our peers. We look at our mentor. We look at the top coaches, and all of a sudden we freak out and we're like, I don't have any experience. I don't know what I'm doing. And you're like, you feel like you're this little fish amongst a whole bunch of sharks, and you're just ready to give up. And just don't do that. Don't do that. So I think that it's so tempting because we lose excitement, because we think everybody else has it together and they seem like they have the perfect things to say, and we don't know where to start, and we just lose it. So what do? We have to stop. We have to stop and remind ourselves that our story matters. These people have been doing this a long time, and our story matters. Our voice matters. If you have, like for me, for instance, I have a son who has juvenile arthritis. I can talk about that, and I can relate to people who have kids with diseases or things that they're dealing with, and they're having trouble going through it, and it's new waters, and they're treading through. And I'm going to relate to some. They're going to relate to me because I'm going through that. Whatever it is, if you have an eating disorder, or if you're pregnant, or whatever it is, if you've lost a child, or you talk about it and share, and you're going to relate to people just like those top coaches relate to other people. Number 2, it's okay to be a beginner. You don't have to have it all figured out. Our businesses, when we start out, are obviously not going to look the same as somebody who's been doing it for 2 years or 4 years or is a top coach. We just started, and that's okay. It's relatable to people. They're not going to be overwhelmed when they see us and they see how excited we are and that we just began. And 3, we have to connect to why we started coaching in the first place, why we started a Beachbody program, and never forget that, because that's who we're talking to. And we cannot forget why we were interested in the first place. So sometimes, just like Pout Pout Fish in the book, we look around, we see what everybody else is doing, and we look at top coaches, and it's excellent to learn from those who have gone before us in the coaching business. That's great. But one thing that we have to remember is that for me, I really crazy look up to Amy Silverman. That's just an example. But my life and Amy Silverman's life are completely different. She lives on an island. She has 0 kids. She's been a coach for 6, 7 years. She's been a top coach for quite a while. Our businesses are going to look nothing alike. Nothing. My business, I'm going to relate to people by reading storybooks. I'm going to relate to people by showing the fact that I'm a hot mess and I am late everywhere I go. And moms are going to see that and they're going to feel comfortable with me because they're going to know that they have that in common with me. So it's okay to look at somebody and not have your business look like theirs. It's okay because our business is not going to be in the same pace or place as those coaches are. So I think we have to remember that while Bonnie Engel is an amazing coach and we have so much to learn from her, the world already has a Bonnie Engel and we don't need another one. We need you. The world needs to hear from your voice and your personality because that's why people are friends with you in the first place. They are already connected to you and they want to hear your voice.
It's on tomorrow, okay?
So something else I know is that whenever I constantly am looking at other people and trying to make my business look like this or look like that, you're going to constantly feel like a failure because you're not going to be being true to yourself. And so when we feel like a failure, what do? I know for me, this is an example. Like with doing personal development, I've done a lot of personal development on like time management and things like that because obviously I don't have a lot of time. But one thing, a common theme with a lot of top coaches in personal development is that they talk about how you need to be a morning person and like you need to get up early in the morning, get your workout in. I don't know, I think it's called Miracle Morning or something like that, where there's like you get up, you do your personal development, you do your workout, you have like silence. What is silence? And all this different stuff. And I tried. Oh my gosh, I'm such a night owl. And I tried to be a morning person. I think I kept bumping it up. Like I think I was getting up at 4:45 at one point. And like I was so depressed. Nobody wanted to be around me. I wasn't getting any work done. I felt like quitting life in general. And so all that said to say, like for me to be effective and get the most work done is not to do what all the personal development books said and all the top coaches said. For me to get the most work done and have people actually want to talk to me is if I wait until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night after all the kids are in bed, I pour a cup of coffee at 9, 10 o'clock at night, I sit down and I bust out my work for a couple hours. And if that means I don't go to bed until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, great. And then I sleep until 6:30 in the morning and it's blessed. So anyway, I'm just saying you don't have to make it look just like somebody else. So what do we do when we're trying to make it look like somebody else or trying to do what we think we should and it's not working? We constantly feel like a failure. And when we feel like a failure, what do we do? What do we typically do when we feel like a failure? We crawl. Okay, maybe it's just me. I crawl off in a corner, and again, you can ask my success partner, and I start saying the same thing Pout Pout Fish says, and there is 0 time in this business to crawl off in a corner and feel sorry for yourself. There is no time to say, I'm not smart. I'll never get it. I don't belong, so I should just forget it. And I have said all those things. And it's the worst thing you can do. When you feel like a failure, number one, get somebody in your life to tell you to snap out of it and then take their advice. Find somebody close who's going to just keep you on track. But second of all, when you feel like you're failing, I want you to give yourself permission to celebrate those failures and realize that if you're failing, you're trying new things. You're trying. You are figuring out what doesn't work. I mean, you can at least celebrate that, right? You can move on and be, okay, I crossed that off. Now I can try this. I feel like this business, if you're not constantly trying new things, you're probably not growing. And if you're constantly trying new things, you're constantly going to be failing at something. So celebrate your failures and be okay with it, and realize that failure is not the end. Failure is just part of success. So let's see. Oh, and always be ready to self-evaluate. When you feel like you're failing, but this is also when you feel like you're having success. Be always self-evaluating, going on your social media, whatever, all the time, scrolling through there, seeing what you're doing, seeing what is working for you, seeing what's not. Don't be afraid to do that. I did it just this morning because I was looking for something in particular, and I realized I hadn't posted a bold coaching invite post in like 3 weeks. And I was like, loser, you need to post those more often than that. And it was a super like wake-up call for me, because I thought I was constantly talking about the business because it's always going on up here. But that doesn't mean I'm actually doing it. So that's why it's so important, in my opinion, to constantly be self-evaluating your Facebook posts or whatever social platform you use. And thirdly, be coachable. I know it's hard sometimes. I know sometimes when somebody is trying to help you, it's going to feel like they're stepping on your toes. It's going to feel like they just called your baby ugly, but they're not trying to be mean. They're trying to love on you and help you succeed. So be coachable. So when you hit that storm, don't run off in the corner. Don't fantasize about what your life would be like if you didn't coach anymore. I've never done that. And you lean in and buckle in and just know that you're going to ride that storm out, and you're going to come out the other side, and you're going to be so much stronger than you were when you went into it. And let's see. So much of coaching comes down to belief. Belief in ourselves, belief in the products. I mean, we know that what we have to offer people works. We know that if we can help them stick to it, that what they're doing, we have something real that's going to change their life. So you have to have belief when you're talking to people, and just be confident and know that if you're not confident when you're talking to people, people are going to feel it, and they're going to start doubting what you're saying and be like, why is she nervous? Like, is she lying to me? What is she not telling me? And so you have to be believing in yourself before anybody else is going to believe in you. It's really super important. And I always think, I come back to, like, right when I started coaching, I remember reading or listening to a call or something where Lindsay Matway was talking about how if you go back to her messages that she sent people when she first started, she said they look exactly the same as they do now, because she spoke with that boldness and that confidence and that belief. And I think that's so important, because, I mean, what level of success do you have to have before you're successful? There's no measure. So you can be successful really from day one. You just have to believe in yourself. And that has carried me a very long ways. Just fake it till you make it, honestly. And I think of it a lot like parenting too. I mean, when you believe in what you're doing, you're not going to quit. And even on those tough days, like, parenting is not easy. And there's no day that parenting is easy, but you don't just all of a sudden just say, I don't think I'm doing this right, so I guess I'm just going to give up. I mean, that's not, when you believe in something, you believe in it so hard that you're like, wow, all of this sucks, but I'm going to keep going, because I know that if I put in a little more time and a little more patience, beautiful things are going to happen. Whether it's the coaching business turning into something like super successful for you, or that little toddler turning into a real human, it's going to happen sooner or later. You just have to be patient with it. So lastly, look for the right people. Look for the right people to surround yourself with, whether that's in your personal life or your business, with your success partners. Surround yourself with the people who are going to support you in your goals. And if it's with your fitness, surround yourself with the people that are going to not be like, here, have another brownie. We want a brownie, so you eat a brownie. Surround yourself with the people who are going to support you and help you. And it's the same with success partners. Look for somebody who is at the pace and place that you are, someone who is running just as hard as you are. If you want to hit Success Club every single month, be around people who are hitting Success Club every single month, not around people who are going to be telling you, oh, you know, everybody's probably already gone to bed and you might as well just give up, start again next month. No, keep going until 10:59 or 11:59 if you're on the East Coast, until it's done. Don't stop till it's done. And surround yourself with those people. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, so make it count. And very lastly, find your joy. I was recently just having a really hard time in the business, and a really hard time just connecting to the business, and I was just having a really rough time. And I went back to why I started, what I was doing this for, why I started not as a coach, but why I started as a challenger, and the amazing experience that I had. I never really had an amazing experience in a challenge group, so that's been more difficult for me because I actually I started with a different coach before Becca, and when I was in that challenge group, there was no interaction, and I did everything on my own pretty much. So sometimes running a challenge group has been a little bit different for me because I felt like I didn't have that same experience until I came into Becca's challenge. But at that point, I was already a coach, and I had already come through half of my journey. So it was kind of a little different for me. But I went back to how I had this transformation and what it meant to me, and how I want that for my clients. And if I can help my clients have that, I am a success because they're a success. And so I went back to my challenge groups and I said, I don't really care. I do care. I am going to hit Success Club every month because I do care. But in my head, I was like, I don't really care about the points at this point. They will come. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these people in my challenge group have the best experience possible. And I'm going to do whatever it takes for them. Whether that means, and I'm asking them, I'm like, do you want me to check in with you every day? Do you want me privately? Do you want me to privately check in with you once a week? What do you want from me? How can I do this the very best for you? And my challengers this month, it's incredible. I had people losing 7 to 10 pounds in the first week. It was insane. More than one person. And everybody is having an amazing experience this month. And it's just given me the joy of coaching because these people are having real life-changing experiences. And that's what I started praying at the beginning or the end of October. I just started praying, God, bring me the people that I can change their life, whether it be through coaching, whether it be through a challenge group, whatever it is, bring me the people that I can change their life. And it's been incredible, and it has brought the joy of it back. And so I think you approach all of it differently when it's not just a bunch of numbers and, a business. So that's really all I have for you. I mean, I put off, Becca asked me for over a year to do a call, and I don't really like public speaking, and I kept putting it off and making excuses because I kept telling myself, I don't have anything to tell them. I don't have any big secrets. I don't have the secret sauce. And I finally, I was like, it's just a simple thing where you do the process, you do the vital behaviors, you do the trainings, you keep a belief. And I was like, well, I guess that's it. I guess that's what I need to talk about is that belief. And it really is, guys, there is no secret sauce. If I could tell you how to find success, I would be so much richer than I am. And so it's different for everybody. And you literally have to just do the trainings, because every time that I have seen advancing my business, I just literally do what I'm told. Do what, find the trainings, do them, go on. And that's all I can tell you. It's really all I have. If you have any questions, make sure to ask.
That was amazing, right? Can you guys give her some claps or some head nods or something so she could see? That was so good. You made people cry. You made people laugh. You did good. I love that. And I love that book. I actually went on Amazon while you were talking and bought it so that I can add it to Cadence's library. I love everything about the call. I think it's funny that I was reading through the comments while you were speaking. Everyone like, this is so good, so simple, but such good nuggets, which is funny to me because that was what you were most worried about, was that it was going to be too simple. But I think that as soon as we open our mouths, we overcomplicate this business. So keeping it simple is so important. It's always a good reminder, no matter if you've been a coach for a day or for a decade, that keeping it simple is so important. Okay, so we are at 9:40. Does anybody have any questions for Lanette while you have a chance to pick her brain? Or any questions about anything she said? Everybody's just telling you how awesome you are in the chat.
Thank you. Best time management tips. I can tell you what I would do if I was good at doing this. This is what works the best for me, but I don't always do it. The best thing that I have found is to take one day, and the biggest thing with this is that I'm not always inspired on that one day. So the best thing for me is when I can write like 7 posts that are of some sort of value on one day, and then save those for one a day, and then just do lifestyle posts for the rest of it, and then only do like in the morning when I get up, maybe answer any messages that came through the night, and then just basically as people message me throughout the day, just like voicemail them, say, hey girl, thank you so much for the message. I'm not ignoring you. I'm so excited to talk to you. And as soon as I sit down after I get the kids in bed tonight, I'm gonna talk to you all about this. I can't wait. And then when I get the kids in bed, message them back like all the stuff. But of course, if it's like emergent, I always answer it right away, or if I think that they're gonna need something right away. But time management tips, no, I'm really not very good at that. All this stuff takes me way longer than it should. So I wish I had something that was actually gold there for you, but I don't think I do. Don't recreate the wheel, for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Something that I think a lot of my coaches who are creative struggle with, because I'm creative and like attracts like, is we all want to like put our flavor on everything. But especially when you're a new coach, I agree with Lanette, definitely hold off on that. Maybe once you've kind of grown your business and you have a big team and you have extra time and all that kind of stuff, you could do it a little bit more, but you definitely don't have to at the beginning. Lanette, Jennifer asked, do you work throughout the day or just keep it to when the kids are in bed?
I do work throughout the day, but I try to keep it to like voice messages when I'm cooking, or like when the kids are in the bath, or a lot of my kids are in school, so that's opened up. Like over the summer, I had all 5 of them with me all the time, so that was a little different. But I do work throughout the day. I definitely do posts throughout the day. Because a lot of my posts are not pre-made. Most of them are on the fly. So I do that throughout the day.
Lanette.
Yes.
Just because I think this is helpful for a lot of people to hear, can you talk a little bit about like those times that you've gotten to the very end of the month and you've tried to lock in, your last Success Club points or whatever, and you feel like you're falling short of that goal, and how you've switched it to always remember like your priorities and the reason why you're doing it, because you're obviously a very driven, motivated person, and it hurts to fall short of those goals. But I think it's helpful for people just to hear that even like people who are in this and doing well struggle with those things too.
Yeah, September especially was a month that just about killed me. October been my year mark for Success Club 10 All-Star, and I hadn't really struggled really with it until then. It was the last day of the month, and I was working to lock in Success Club 10, and it had taken all my joy. And I mean, I was freaking out about it. And it wasn't just September that this, kind of thing had happened, but like I was trying to get ready for a ball game, a homecoming game with my kids. And I was just freaking out. I wanted to scream at everyone. And I remember I just sat and I thought all of a sudden, my kids are never going to say, Mom, I really wish you had been Success Club 10 All-Star, but they will say, Mom, I really wish you had been there at that ball game with us, because I actually almost stayed home from the ball game to lock it in. And I worked, I did everything I could. Somebody fell through and I ended up at 8. So, but that's beside the point. I ended up being able to be okay with it because I just kept seeing their faces and them being like, they could care less if I have that title. And I started this business so that I could put groceries on the table for them, because that was something that we weren't consistently being able to do well. And so that is why. And so when I remembered that and I thought about that, I was like, this is ridiculous. And so, I absolutely am really driven, but I do try to, at the end of the day, if it's taking me away from my joy, away from my kids, I have to take a step back and be like, are you doing this for the title? Are you doing this is that commission? If you get that commission tomorrow instead of today, is that going to make the difference? No. And so at that point, I have to take a step back and put my kids first, for sure.
Anybody have any other questions that Lanette has specific insight to that you could pick her brain for a minute? Anything about, let's chime off all of Lanette's things. Anything about having amazing hair? Any of the life struggles that may come with that? Having just a full-on litter of children? Being landlocked? Anybody struggle with that?
I'm coming for you, Becca. I gotta get out.
The house next to us is still being shown. So,
okay. There's still hope.
Come on down. Actually, I think it's going to auction.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. People were traipsing through our backyard. I had to put up a makeshift fence. It was super creepy. Does anybody have any just general questions? We've got some good leaders here that I'm sure can give some insights, as well as myself. We got a lot of new people, a lot of new faces. Everybody's good? Everybody's good to go? How is your...
Leah, I use both. I was doing just Facebook groups until the health bet. The month before the health bet, I switched over to the app because I knew I had to for the health bet. So I used a month to get ready for it. I personally didn't like it as well. I did and I didn't. Like, I had a love-hate relationship with it. And then now I use both. And I do it because of the videos, because people really videos. And so in the group, we do, I just do live videos, and I don't post a ton in there, but if I post recipes, I'll post them in the group on Facebook and things like that, just because it's so much easier. I love doing grocery shopping videos because people seem to really, really like it. And so I'll go to the store, and when I get home, as I'm unpacking my groceries, I just go live, and then I go through each thing and I show them what I got. Literally everything I got, even if it's bad for you. And I tell them why I got it, what I hope to make with it, and why I chose that brand or that thing, and what to look for. And people seem to really like it. So I've been doing stuff like that. I went live and showed people how to make Shakeology, just stuff that. Posting on the app and Facebook prompts daily. No, I'm actually only posting. I have another girl posting with me this month in my group, but we take every other day, and but we're only posting the daily posts in the Facebook. No, in the challenge app, because we're still trying to push people onto the app. But so we're really using the Facebook group more as just for like chitter chatter.
I'm sorry. Chatter chatter. And what is the thing that the fish says? Pout, pout.
Blub, blub.
No, before that.
Oh, pout, pout fish?
Yeah, what does they say before it? Like, don't pout, pout something?
I don't know. Which one?
Right before,
No
right before the glub glubs.
Hold on. I have to find it. Flub, flub, frowning. Are we talking about that?
That might be it.
So, there's an original pout pout fish that is really, really good as well. And if you have kids, you should get that one too, because it's all like about your attitude and like how nobody wants to be around pout pout fish, and it's really good.
This one is the school one, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite. There's actually, don't get me on this. There's actually another book. I had like 3 books I wanted to read tonight. There's another one about Katerina's lemonade stand, and it's all about when there's like all these different lemonade stands and you need to make yours unique so that people want to come to it. So you need to make sure your lemonade is like pretty and presented well. And I was like, damn, that's some coach stuff right there. Make your lemonade pretty. Sorry.
That's funny. Love it. All right. If anybody has anything else, this is your last chance. Speak now or wait till Punta Cana when you can see her in person again. All right. Thank you so very much, Lanette. An incredible call. So, so good. I'm so inspired. I can't wait to get that book. I Amazon Primed it, so it should be here very soon. And I know that everybody loved it. I will try and get the recording up tomorrow for everybody so you can share it with your team, because I know this is going to be a favorite call for a lot of coaches. This is a great one to send to your new coaches if they start to get overwhelmed or start to just feel a little bit like maybe they're not so good at this, when in fact all they are is just new, and it's okay to be new. So thank you. I appreciate so much you giving of your time and your beautiful spirit and your great insight. And thank you to everybody who was here, because I know that you all lead really busy lives, and I appreciate you guys carving out some time for your team. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys on Facebook.